Senna. What did he get as a trophy? He got Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay, that's what he got. Okay, that's for winning.
Oh, love it.
You know, it's not even painted. I mean, it's just a horrible. Anyway, there you go.
I quite like the trophies, though. I thought those Lego trophies were really cool.
They're great, but he wanted it made out of gold or silver.
Yeah, it's the result you're after. You know, it's the result you're after. Some people, I will say, some people do produce some really beautiful works of art and silverware.
So shall we just pay tribute this morning to the man who, without lifting a finger on Sunday, inherited a record in Formula One that he never wanted in the first place and was glad to get rid of? Adrian Sutil, stand up, take a bow. You now have the most amount of races in Formula One without a podium.
Yeah, but the person who's currently racing, David, is Yuki Tsunoda, who has 99 races without a podium. Unbelievable. I mean, I can't believe he's not been. Anyway, he could actually break that one as well. Otherwise, he could be chasing. I don't think it will get to Nico.
For a Japanese nation that have had 500 World Championship Grand Prix without a win, more than any other nation. As we celebrate a 25th British win at Silverstone, Japan had a 500th Grand Prix without a victory. So stand up, everyone in Japan as well, and we'll all give you a round of applause.
Yeah, just on Sauber, it's really tight in the midfield, isn't it? Williams, they've struggled somewhat in the last 3 or 4 races when Sauber have gained. Sauber have gone from 9th to 6th and have leapfrogged the RBs, the Aston Martins, and the Haas just with that. But look at these results, by the way, for Nico Hülkenberg. He's gone from 17th to 7th, 15th to 5th in Spain, in Austria 20th to, does that say 9th? Yeah, 9th. And Great Britain 19th to 3rd. So, I mean, talk about comeback drives. He's making some brilliant comeback drives. And just to echo that on Jonathan Wheatley, as you're saying, he may, however actively involved he is in the strategic decisions there on the pit wall, we know he is with the pit stops, and he's made a difference there, undoubtedly. But just that couple of laps, bringing him in slightly earlier to pit before the rain came down, to go back onto the slicks. That's what made him, gain all those positions again. So it's Sauber have outscored Red Bull, by the way, 35-29 in the last 4 races combined. So that just shows you exactly what's going on down there. So well done to Nico Hülkenberg. That was one of the moments of the season, and he said he's going to spend much of the next week hungover or celebrating, and as well he might, because he's deserved it. Quick word on Red Bull. Obviously, we can be very brief on this, but they risked it. They went for the low downforce package, and that's what cost them on the Sunday. Not much more to say other than that, is it? It was undrivable because they took the wing off.
No, but fair play to Max. He had the spin, he got his head down, and he salvaged a 5th place finish from that race. And we're still making progress at the end. Yuki, I don't know where we go with Yuki on this one. He's still struggling with the car. It's been a lot of races now. He'll be there till the end of the season. We all want to see him do so much better. But it was told to me at the British Grand Prix that Red Bull have basically designed a car that is the fastest possible car that the data could possibly suggest, but it's undrivable. And they were warned about it in terms of the design team, but they ignored the warnings. Well, it's kind of coming home to roost a little bit, and maybe they're missing Adrian Newey an awful lot more than Christian Horner said they would or ever thought they would.
Yeah, you do hear whispers that the Verstappen camp aren't particularly happy with the technical side of things and the upgrades that they've got, and that in the off season, thoughts like, what's happened? Nothing's changed about this car, and they've not managed to develop it in the direction that Max likes. He's still driving the socks off it because Max is Max. But that brings us on, if we could, to Ferrari. awful strategy for Charles Leclerc. He had a shocker, as you guys were saying at the top. So let's focus though on Lewis Hamilton, the first time in 12 years that he's not been on the podium. He said it's a really snappy car. In the low speed, it doesn't like to turn, but a lot of them don't like to turn at the low speed because they're so heavy. We've discussed that before on the podcast. 11 laps, first pit stop, he went from 4th to 8th. He was delayed by Ocon, and Gasly got stuck in a bit of traffic there, and then came in too early for slicks at the end and struggled with that outlap, as Ant was pointing out, compared to Nico Hulkenberg. When he came out, lost 5 seconds in the first 2 corners. Fred Vasseur making excuses with some decisions were blind as the GPS failed after 10 laps. But what I quite like from Lewis is I feel I know how to explain to the team what I don't want built into next year's.
Who called the incident a massive sandwich. The Kick Sauber driver had dropped down to P15 following a visit to the pits, while Stroll and Alpine's Franco Colapinto had also pitted after an eventful opening lap. On lap 5 of 19, it was announced that the safety car period would soon be ending, with Verstappen still leading from Russell, Sainz, Leclerc, Hamilton, Albon, Tsunoda, the Red Bull driver having withstood running over Hulkenberg's straight front wing on the track, and Behrman. It was another strong restart from Verstappen, the world champion holding on to P1 ahead of Singapore race winner Russell. Further back, the other Mercedes car of Antonelli was keen to make moves as the rookie tried to find a way past Pierre Gasly in a fight for 9th. By lap 8, Russell had closed in on Verstappen enough to attempt a bold overtake of his own by making a lunge into turn 12, but both cars ran wide off the track, with Verstappen rejoining ahead of his rival. "What was that?" the Red Bull man radioed in, and while the stewards noted the incident, they decided that no further investigation was needed. Elsewhere, the Ferrari duo of Leclerc and Hamilton were locked in a fierce scrap for P4, Hamilton ultimately winning the fight to move ahead of his teammate. And back at the front, Russell looked to have lost ground to Verstappen, the Briton dropping back by 1.7s. As lap 11 ticked down, Verstappen continued to lead from Russell, Sainz, Hamilton, Leclerc, Albon, Tsunoda and Behrman. The battle for that last points-paying position looked to be heating up, with Behrman closing to within a second of Tsunoda while Antonelli was also hot on the tail of the Haas. "We have 2 strikes at turn 12. Russell was warned by his race engineer about track limits, while elsewhere Behrman and Antonelli were noted for leaving the track and gaining an advantage following a wide moment for the rookies during their duel. Further drama hit on lap 16 when Stroll attempted a lunge on Ocon into turn 1, the Aston Martin driver locking up and collecting the Haas to put the latter out. While the Canadian appeared to raise his hand in apology, he also became another retirement after pulling his damaged car off the track at turn 3. All of this prompted a second safety car phase, while it was confirmed that the Stroll and Ocon incident would be investigated after the sprint. Behrman, meanwhile, was handed a 10-second time penalty for that aforementioned Antonelli fight, a punishment that would drop the Haas man out of the points. With the recovery operation continuing on track, the sprint ended under the safety car as Verstappen clinched a 13th sprint victory, the Dutchman crossing the line ahead of Russell, Sainz, Hamilton, Leclerc, Albon and Tsunoda, with Behrman, who had been running in 8th, dropping to the bottom of the order due to his penalty. Antonelli moved up into P8, while Racing Bull's Liam Lawson and the Alpine of Gasly missed out on points in P9 and P10 respectively. Kick Sauber's Gabriel Bortolito was 11th, ahead of the Racing Bulls of Isaac Hadjar, 12th, Hulkenberg, 13th, Colapinto, 14th, and the aforementioned Behrman, 15th. A quarter of the field retired in a highly eventful sprint, with Norris, Piastri and Alonso all out on lap 1 while Ocon and Stroll added to the list of drivers who failed to see the finish. Key quote: "I mean, the start was good. said sprint winner Verstappen. Then, of course, there was the safety car because of the Turn 1 incident, and it took a few laps after the safety car to have decent pace, so we need to try to figure out what was going on there. Nevertheless, we won the sprint, which is the most important thing. Looking for tomorrow, I do think we need to be a bit better in race trim to be able to fight the McLarens, because we haven't seen anything from them. What's NEXT following the sprint? The drivers will next hit the track during qualifying for the Grand Prix later on Saturday, with the session set to begin at 1600 local time. Head to the Race Hub to find out how you can follow the action.